That's why Muhammad Ali left when he was young, and that's why I left because I didn't feel like there was anything there. So you finished law school, you had a $500 credit card, and you put out your shingle, and you started your business. What? How did that feel? What was that like? Just in terms of, it must have been just mortifying to know that you didn't have like the capital backup. You didn't have a lot of resources to get this done. How did you go through that? What was that experience like for you?
I'm better for it now because now I help people with their businesses and other attorneys to hang their shingle and figure it out. Then it was scary, but it also, like you said, once you have a kid and you have their responsibility, you can go without. You can couch surf, you can sleep in the car. You can't do that with a kid. Like it's do or die. You have to make it happen. So I had to get creative, had to get resourceful. I tried to meet everybody I could. I was always involved in whatever I could be involved in. And just, trying to get under, I watched attorneys that I respected because the cliche about attorneys being crooked, nobody likes an attorney. They think they're all liars except for their attorney. Like, but there are attorneys that, I feel like would sell their soul to the devil. And so I had to watch. I found the ethical ones and saw how they did, how they moved. And law school teaches you the theories of law. They don't teach you how to write a motion. They don't teach you how to really truly brief a case and the customer service and skills that it takes and how where to clock your cases and your pleadings in court. They don't teach you that. They teach you the how to think like a lawyer. And so I had to put that thinking cap on and get creative. They say only 2% of attorneys hang their shingle without going to work for somebody else first. So only 2% of attorneys that come out have the guts to do what I did. Um, it was you, of course, imposter syndrome kicks in because you're like, I've never had to write a motion for this, but I got to figure it out because I got a client that just came through the door and I got to take the case because I got to pay the rent. I got to pay the mortgage, the kid got to eat. So you end up figuring it out. I think it gave me a leg up on the attorneys who went to go work for someone else and they were still doing internship type work. And I was actually doing the work.
Wow. So you and part of the reason I know you're an attorney is because you helped me with that child support thing, and I remember I remember it was such a relief when it was you said like
Like,
that
we're
was
done.
like yeah, that email was right there with the other most important email I got from my dissertation chair when he told me that he said it looks good, let's schedule a date for your defense. Like I remember that day, and I remember the day I got the email from you.
Yeah.
And so you have a lot of experience. I'll start with just the child support thing in terms of just I felt like when you were there, you helped defend my legal rights, and I really appreciated that. And you've kind of seen a lot in that area. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, you've done some commentary on those sorts of things.
Yeah.
What can you talk about just that part of your? I know you've done a lot of things. I'm trying
I,
to like go piece by piece, but tell me, just let's start there. I hear a
so a
lot of
month
people.
ago, I
Yeah,
celebrated
please.
19 years of practicing.
Wow.
And I went from South Park Tap to being sworn in at the Supreme Court to practice at that bar last year. December will be my
Wow.
1 year anniversary for being sworn in to the Supreme Court bar.
Wow.
I've done a little bit of everything.